Welcome to the wild side, where badgers don't play nice. Alright, folks, put down your popcorn and forget what you think you know about cute woodland creatures. Today, we're diving into one of nature's most underrated grudge matches, the American badger versus the honey badger. Two scrappy, short-legged members of the weasel family who live by one rule: bite first, ask questions never. Now, you might be thinking, how dangerous can a badger be? I saw one in a cartoon once and it looked adorable. Well, allow me to introduce you to reality. Imagine a furry chainsaw with anger issues. That's your honey badger. Now picture a grumpy tunnel dweller with claws like switchblades. That's your American badger. Both are like that one friend who takes board games way too seriously. You love them, but don't you dare challenge them to Monopoly unless you're ready for war. Let's break it down, shall we? These two little tanks of testosterone both belong to the Mustelidae family, which also includes otters, wolverines, and that raccoon-looking cousin who can smell fear. The American badger hangs out across North America, mainly in the US, Mexico, and Canada. Think of it as the cowboy of badgers: wide open plains, dusty burrows, and a love for underground carnage. The honey badger, on the other hand, is a globetrotter with an attitude. You'll find it across Africa, Southwest Asia, and India, where it regularly picks fights with cobras, lions, and, presumably, mirrors. And between you and me, if there were a World Cup for grudge matches, the honey badger would still be fouling opponents long after the final whistle. Classification and distribution: where in the wild are they? Alright, fellow nature nerds, let's talk bloodlines, because every good rivalry starts with a family feud. Both the American badger and the honey badger belong to the Mustelidae family, basically nature's version of a biker gang made up of small, angry mammals. We're talking otters, wolverines, ferrets, and a handful of other creatures that either look adorable or like they're about to flip a table, sometimes both. So yes, these two are distant, bad-tempered cousins. One went to finishing school in North America, the other studied martial arts in the savannas of Africa. But make no mistake, they both graduated with honors in Don't Mess With Me studies. American badger, the underground cowboy. The American badger calls the United States, Mexico, and Canada home. Picture a grumpy little miner who's constantly digging up the backyard and yelling at gophers. That's your guy. These badgers love open spaces, grasslands, deserts, farmlands, basically anywhere they can dig a tunnel system that would make a mole jealous. I once saw one in Utah vanish underground faster than my Wi-Fi during a Zoom call. Impressive and mildly terrifying. Honey badger, the globe-trotting brawler. Now, the honey badger. This beast is everywhere in Africa, parts of the Middle East, and India. If it were a person, it'd be the loud guy at the airport wearing sunglasses indoors and carrying 3 passports. It thrives in savannas, forests, rocky hills, deserts, you name it. If it's rough, remote, and full of things that bite, the honey badger is already there, biting back. Seriously, this creature lives where snakes, lions, and other predators roam. And doesn't even flinch. That's like moving into a haunted house and asking the ghosts to keep it down. If the American badger is the rugged local tough guy who knows every inch of his neighborhood, the honey badger is the world-traveling street fighter who's been in more bar fights than you've had hot dinners. Both are built for battle, but their playgrounds are wildly different, and that shapes how they fight, survive, and show off their badger swagger. Size and physical traits: badgers built like brawlers. Alright folks, let's talk body specs, because when it comes to badgers, size does matter. Especially if you're sizing up who would win in a claw-swinging, dirt-flying brawl. American badger, the flatland enforcer, our first contender. The American badger stretches out to about 52 to 87 centimeters, 20 to 34 inches, and weighs a respectable 9 to 12 kilograms, 20 to 26 pounds. Picture a furry football with attitude and a built-in digging kit. They've got thick, dark brown fur, snazzy white racing stripes on their face, and razor-sharp front claws that look like they were forged in a hardware store run by raccoons. Their body is low and wide, kind of like a pancake made of muscle and rage. Add in a face that permanently says "I will ruin your lawn," and you've got a pretty accurate image. They've got thick, dark brown fur, snazzy white racing stripes on their face, and razor-sharp front claws that look like they were forged in a hardware store run by raccoons. Their body is low and wide, kind of like a pancake made of muscle and rage. Add in a face that permanently says I will ruin your lawn, and you've got a pretty accurate image. Here's where it gets spicy. The honey badger comes with a secret weapon: super tough, loose-fitting skin. You grab it, it just twists around inside its own skin like a furry contortionist and bites you in the face. It's like trying to fight a chainmail-wearing toddler who's been drinking espresso. Add in teeth strong enough to crack tortoise shells, claws that could open a locked briefcase, and a swagger that says, I once stared down a lion and lived to tell the tale, and you're looking at one of nature's most overpowered units. Personally, if I had to pick a badger for an underground wrestling league, I'd go with the honey badger. More muscle, more bite, and armor built in. But don't sleep on the American badger. It's like a living bulldozer with bad manners and an appetite for gophers. If the American badger is your tough, scrappy neighbor who lifts weights in his garage, the honey badger is the ex-military cousin who shows up to Thanksgiving with a knife collection and stories that end with double quotes ... and then the snake died. Behavior and survival skills, badger versus world. Alright, it's time to peel back the curtain on the daily lives of these furry gladiators. Because while both badgers might look like they just woke up from a nap in a bush, their survival skills are next level. These aren't just animals, they're tactical, resourceful, and, honestly, a little bit scary. American badger, the underground assassin. The American badger is a bit of a lone wolf, or should I say, lone badger. This critter is a nocturnal homebody who spends its nights doing what it loves most, digging massive tunnels and ambushing unsuspecting rodents like a dirt-dwelling ninja. Its digging game is elite. Seriously, if there were an Olympic sport for tunneling into someone else's living room uninvited, this badger would bring home gold every time. It doesn't chase its prey, it ambushes from below. 1 minute you're a prairie dog having lunch, next minute bam, you're in a badger's snack compartment. And those tunnels. Not just bachelor pads, they're fully equipped underground bunkers, often with multiple rooms. I've seen studio apartments with less square footage. Honey badger, the one critter wrecking crew. Now, the honey badger, oh boy. This little gremlin of the animal kingdom is also a solo act, but with the energy of someone who's constantly ready to start a bar fight. It's infamous for aggression, even when completely unprovoked. I mean, it doesn't just survive, it thrives in chaos. This creature will pick a fight with snakes, jackals, leopards, and probably you if you make eye contact for too long. But here's the kicker, it's smart. Like, tool using smart. Honey badgers have been spotted rolling logs, climbing fences, and unlocking cages just to get food or to spite whoever locked them in. Basically, it's a genius in a Kevlar fur coat. And if things get too intense, no problem. The honey badger has built-in stink bombs. Seriously, it releases a smell from anal glands so foul it can clear a room faster than a burnt microwave burrito. Nature's version of pepper spray ... with flair. I've seen a lot of wild animals, but the honey badger is on a whole different level. It's like a combination of MacGyver, Rambo, and a skunk, all rolled into one squat, fearless mammal. The American badger, definitely less flashy, but way more tactical. It's the patient predator, clever with the dig, lethal with the ambush, and completely unbothered by anything that isn't food or dirt. If I had to survive a zombie apocalypse with one of these guys, give me the American badger for stealth missions. ... but give me the honey badger if we're storming the gates. Diet. What's on the menu for these wild warriors? Alright, let's talk food, because even the toughest badgers get hangry. And trust me, what these two eat says a lot about who they are. American badger, the rodent terminator. The American badger is a meat lover, through and through. This guy isn't interested in salads or fancy appetizers, it wants meat, and it wants it underground. Its favorite snacks, rodents, all day, every day. We're talking pocket gophers, prairie dogs, voles, ground squirrels, you name it. If it squeaks and burrows, it's on the menu. And how does it get to them? By digging, of course. Picture this. A gopher is having a peaceful day, enjoying some roots, when suddenly bam, the ground erupts and a badger pops up like a furry landmine. Dinner is served. I always say, if the American badger had a fast food chain, it would be called McTunnels. Over 1 million rodents served. Honey badger, the ultimate trash panda of doom. Now the honey badger, oh, it eats everything. It's a hardcore omnivore with no food standards and zero fear. Think of it as nature's garbage disposal, but somehow smarter and way more terrifying. This beast monks on insects, snakes yes, venomous ones, birds, lizards, frogs, small mammals, and carrion, which is a fancy word for dead, rotting stuff. Yum, and of course, true to its name, it loves honey. Loves it so much it'll tear apart a beehive like a bear in a candy shop, ignoring hundreds of stings because pain is just a concept to a honey badger. Fun fact, honey badgers have even teamed up with birds called honey guides that lead them to beehives. Teamwork makes the honey dream work. Honestly, if I were stranded in the wild and had to forage, I'd want a honey badger on my team. It's like a survivalist chef that can turn venomous snakes and rotten leftovers into a 5-star buffet. Meanwhile, the American badger is more specialized. Think of it like that friend who only eats chicken tenders, but man, they know where to find the best ones. So who's got the edge here? The honey badger wins on versatility, hands down, but the American badger. It's a rodent-slaying machine with one job and it does it very, very well. The showdown, American badger versus honey badger. Alright folks, grab your popcorn and protective gear because we're diving into the ultimate hypothetical brawl between two of nature's crankiest furballs. This is like WWE meets National Geographic. Let's set the scene. In the red corner, we've got the American badger, sleek, sharp, and faster than a prairie dog's regrets. Known for killer instincts, underground ambushes, and the kind of rage only a solitary carnivore can muster. This badger doesn't roar, it rumbles silently under the dirt and explodes when you least expect it. This guy's got speed, precision, and an uncanny ability to disappear into the ground mid-fight like some kind of rodent-seeking ninja mole. Honestly, if I were a ground squirrel, I'd be writing my will the second I saw claw marks. And in the blue corner, the one, the only, the honey badger. This beast walks into battle like it's already been in 5 and probably won all of them. Its secret weapons, armor-grade skin that's so loose, it can literally twist around and bite you while being bitten. A pain threshold somewhere between may and doesn't care. And it regularly fights leopards and lions just for the thrill of it. I'm not saying it's unhinged. But I am saying it once looked a cobra in the eyes and said, "Try me." So who wins? Let's break it down. American badger gets points for tactical skill, quicker strikes, and killer instincts. It's the trained hitman of the badger world. But the honey badger? This thing is a walking rage machine with natural armor, iron will, and comeback power that would make Rocky Balboa jealous. In a real-world badger battle royale, I'd put my money on the honey badger. Why? Because while the American badger might land the first hit, the honey badger absorbs it like a furry sponge of vengeance, then bites back harder. It's not just about offense, it's about taking the hits and coming back swinging. And that, my friends, is what makes the honey badger the reigning champ of the underground fight club. If this were a video game, the American badger would be a rogue-class stealthy, efficient, great at single-target takedowns. The honey badger, definitely the berserker, no defense, all rage, impossible to kill, and possibly on fire. So while both deserve respect, only one walks away the undefeated champion. Winner, honey badger. Because let's face it, when you fight lions for fun, an angry cousin from America isn't that scary. Who would actually win? Okay, let's get real here. We've compared claws, brains, battle styles, and bite force. We've gone underground, raided beehives, and stared down lions. But now, it's time to answer the big, furry question. If the American badger and the honey badger threw paws in a head-to-head SMACKDOW and ... who walks away the victor? Let's not sugarcoat it, both of these guys are absolute units. They're small, mean, and armed to the teeth, like nature's version of tiny MMA fighters on a caffeine high. The American badger, it's fierce, fast, and hits like it's got something to prove. It's the efficient assassin of the animal world, strike first, dig later. But the honey badger, oh man, it's built different. We're talking thick, armor-like skin, endless stamina, and a brain that says nope every time pain knocks on the door. The honey badger doesn't just fight, it survives. It goes toe-to-toe with actual predators like leopards, hyenas, and lions. And it often wins or walks away like, was that supposed to hurt? It's like throwing your best punch at a brick wall, and the wall says, is that all you got, buddy? So while the American badger has skills, the honey badger has experience. Real world, I fight lions and win experience. That's not just tough, that's put me in a superhero movie tough. If I had to bet, I'd love to root for Team America. The American Badger's got heart, but the honey badger, that thing is a tank with a temper and zero chill. It doesn't just fight, it keeps fighting until the opponent gives up, runs off, or disintegrates into fear. So yes, honey badger takes the win. Why? Because when your daily workout is wrestling snakes and swiping meat from lions, one scrappy cousin from across the border just doesn't cut it. Are they dangerous to humans? I guess, the million-dollar question. If I see one of these badgers in the wild, should I run, freeze, or politely ask it to leave? Let's break it down badger by badger. American badger, the grumpy introvert. The American badger is like that grumpy neighbor who just wants to be left alone. It's solitary, nocturnal, and has zero interest in humans. Unless you try to touch it, step on it, or heaven forbid interrupt its dinner. Will it chase you down the hiking trail? No. Will it bite your leg off if you poke it with a stick? Absolutely. And also, why are you poking wild animals with sticks? Verdict: not a threat unless provoked. Don't be a jerk in the woods, and you'll be fine. Honey badger, chaos gremlin in fur form. Now, the honey badger is a different beast. It's the real-life embodiment of don't start none, won't be none. This creature is fearless, aggressive, and will throw paws at anything if it feels threatened, including humans. The bad news, if you accidentally make it mad, say, by getting too close to its den or honey stash, prepare for all 9 levels of badger fury. And trust me, once it locks on, pepper spray won't help, running won't help, and crying definitely won't help. Verdict: generally avoids humans, but if cornered, the honey badger will fight like it's being filmed for National Geographic, Final Boss Edition. Don't approach, don't feed, don't try to pet. I can't believe I have to say that, but here we are. If you see one, admire it from a distance, whisper respect under your breath, and keep moving. They're not manhunters, but they're also not cuddly Disney sidekicks. Should you keep them as pets? Okay, let's be honest for a second. Badgers are adorable, fierce, and wild, the kind of animals that make you say, wow, I want one of those in my backyard. Right after I finish my coffee and rethink all my life choices. But should you really keep one as a pet? Let's break it down. American badger, the no thanks pet. First, let's talk about the American badger. Now, don't get me wrong, they've got cute faces, and their little striped fur makes them look like the ultimate woodland superhero. But the American badger is not a fan of people. It's solitary, nocturnal, and doesn't exactly thrive in captivity. Imagine trying to house train a badger that lives to dig. It's basically like bringing a digging machine into your home and saying, no, you can't dig through my furniture. Plus, badgers are wild animals, not designed for cuddles or being part of your Instagram aesthetic. If you try to keep one in a cage, prepare for non-stop complaints from the badger, mostly, and the occasional goodbye couch. So, should you have one as a pet? Nah. Let's just say your furniture will thank you if you keep things wild and free. Honey badger, the let's not pet. Now, the honey badger, oh boy. This little beast is the ultimate don't mess with me animal. If the American badger is a grumpy introvert, the honey badger is a chaotic, unpredictable gremlin. The honey badger has all the ferocity of a tiny bear on a sugar rush, and it's pretty much impossible to tame. Imagine trying to pet it. Good luck. You'll get the badger stare, followed by a bite and a mysterious smell you'll never forget. Plus, they're too intelligent, they'll outsmart your attempts at training faster than you can say honeycomb. Want to teach it tricks? Here's a trick for you. It'll just eat your socks and then give you a look like you should feel honored. So, should you have one as a pet? No. Absolutely not. They're wild with a side of rage and way too tough to live happily in your living room. Badgers are not pets. Sure, they're cool to watch in documentaries or, from a safe distance, but they're meant to roam the wild, do their thing, and avoid your backyard like it's a no-pet zone. If you want a quirky, fun pet, maybe look into something like a hedgehog or a ferret, animals that actually enjoy human companionship without thinking you're an intruder. Let's be real, badgers are made for the wild. While they might look all cute and cuddly in nature documentaries, when it comes to living with humans, they're basically like the roommate who eats all your snacks, digs holes in the floor, and is a little too enthusiastic about fighting your neighbors. Stick with adorable pets that don't look at you like you're their next meal. And let the badgers do what they do best. Be badgers wild, fierce, and living the dream in the great outdoors. If you've had a blast hanging out with me and all these wild creatures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on all the crazy animal facts, epic showdowns, and wildly fun content coming your way. We've got more badgers, more beasts, and definitely more crazy animal antics to explore together. So, smash that subscribe button like a honey badger facing off with a lion, okay? Maybe don't smash your device, and join the wild family. Let's make the animal kingdom even more awesome, one fun video at a time.